Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Pez, and today, coming at you with my first ever story time, okay? So, let me know how you guys feel about this. This is a story time. I have a bunch of crazy stories, if you didn't know. So, if you guys want to see more stories like this, like if you enjoy, and subscribe if you're new and you want to. And, yeah, okay. So here we go. This is the story, how and why I skipped school because of coronavirus. So, if any of you guys didn't know, I live in Montgomery County, and I go to school in Philadelphia County. And I forget what day it was, what day of the month it was, but it was on a Friday when basically all the schools had off, but I didn't. And all of Montgomery had off. They have had like a half day Wednesday. They had off Thursday. All my brothers had off, but no, I was in school. Yeah. So usually when I'm at school, my homeroom teacher goes by, calls everyone, and I was at one of my younger brother's soccer games, and I met one of my homeroom teacher's friends from high school. So when I told my homeroom teacher that I met one of his friends, he's like, "Oh, where'd you meet him?" And I was like, "Oh, I was in Delco for my brother's soccer game." And he's like, "Okay, Delco Pat Zanoni." And I'm like, No. I'm not from Delco. No. I'm from Montgomery County. But I was there when I met your friend. But he's an older guy, so the whole rest of the year, he'd be like, blah, 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 you're here, and Delco Pat Zanoni. And everyone, laughed. It was funny. They all got a kick out of it, him calling me Delco Pat Zanoni, even though I'm not even from Delco. So, as the story goes on, maybe a week or two before the Friday that everyone had off, but we didn't, we had an assembly. And I didn't have an assembly, but the upperclassmen did, and I'm a sophomore, so I'm not upperclassmen. So the upperclassmen had an assembly. So while they were at the assembly, we were all in homeroom for like an hour. And he was like, "Yo, Delco Pat Zanoni, run this down to the office for me," my homeroom teacher. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I got you. So I brought it down to the office. I came back. He's like, "All right, thanks." And I'm like, "No problem." And I'm like, "By the way, my name is Patrick Zanoni, and I am not from Delco. I'm from Montgomery County." And he's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me before?" And I was like, I told you like a million times before. You just never really listen. Well, I didn't say that to him, but in my head, I'm like, I told you like a million times before. But I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just let it slide." He's like, "Oh, well, you're making me seem like a fool the whole time." He's like, "All right, I got you, Monco Pat Zanoni." And then everyone got a kick out of that. So now fast forward to the Friday, okay? And basically all the schools have off, but I don't. All my brothers have off because they go to school in Montgomery County, but I don't. I go to school in Philadelphia County, but I'm from Montgomery County. So while I was at school, he was going through the attendance. Like 3/4 of the kids weren't even there because it's a pandemic that we're in and we still have school. But he's going through, and then he's like, "Monco Pat Zanoni," and he's like, "Wait, why are you here, Patrick?" I'm like, what do you mean, why am I here? I'm at school. What are you talking about? He's like, "Montgomery County, you're not supposed to go to school." I'm like, my mom never told me that. And he's like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be here at school if you're from Montgomery County," which I never knew, and I still don't even know if that's true or not. But he told me that, and I'm like, oh, that stinks. But of course the whole class heard that, so then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, get away from me, Patrick, you're gonna get me sick. What are you doing? Why are you at school? What's your deal? Why'd you come to school? Like, you're not supposed to be here." And I had no idea, but the whole time I'm walking through the halls and stuff, and everyone's like, "Get away from me. Oh my, you're gonna get me sick." And I'm like, "Guys, I'm not sick. Just because I'm from Montgomery County doesn't mean I have coronavirus." But I don't know, it just got worse throughout the day. And first period, my teacher said that to me too. He's like, "Oh, Montgomery County, I thought you guys weren't supposed to come to school." I was like, so as the day goes on, I have fourth period lunch, and usually during lunch I sit with a couple of my buddies, and one of my good buddies, Jake, he's super nice, chill dude. We've been friends for a while. He's also from Montgomery County. So I was telling Jake, like, dude, the whole day I was being, like, harassed by everyone. Like, get away from me. You're from Montgomery County. You have coronavirus. And why did you come to school? He's like, yeah, dude, same. Like, same thing happened to me. And we're sitting in there, and, like, there's absolutely no one. There's absolutely no one in the lunchroom because, like, no one came to school because we're in a pandemic. So I was like, dude, you trying to skip school? He's like, yeah, sure. But we knew we had to be, like, extra, like, sneaky and quiet about it because since there's, like, no school, there's obviously a lot of lunch monitors all around. So we know we had to be, like, quiet about it. So we went to the basement and went out a door that way. And then once we were out, we were, like, it was fourth period. It was around, like, 11-ish. We were just wandering around in Philadelphia, like, trying to spend some time. And then around 1-ish, we took a train, like, back to his house. He kind of lives near me, but, like, it's not that close. We hung out there for a while, watched a movie. It was a lot of fun. It was funny. We were watching a movie while I was, like, supposed to be in music class at his house, like, a while out. But, yeah, so we skipped school, and we hung out in Chinatown till we went back to his house. So then, after we were at his house, it was, like, around, like, 2-ish, and I'm like, all right, dude, you want to head back to, like, around where I live? And he's like, yeah, sure. So we went over to, like, around where I live. We took a train, and when we were back there, since, like, everyone had no school, like, Lower Merion didn't have school, Harriton didn't have school, where all my brothers go to school didn't have school. Like, since none of the public schools near me had school, the park was absolutely packed with people. There were so many people just at the park. Like, there was, like, 4 5-on-5 basketball games going, like, half court, and there was, like, music blaring. Like, everyone was all over the place, and it was crazy. So I went home. You know, I had a long day. I skipped school. I was tired because I was walking around the city for, like, the whole day. But my brother, who was at the park, he told me that what happened was a bunch of police cars all pulled up, and they're like, everyone has to go. Like, you didn't get off of school just to hang out at the park. So, like, there's, like, thousands of people down there, and they're like, you guys all have to leave the park. And, like, everyone at the park's like, what, come on. And they started, like, putting up police tape and stuff, and there was a bunch of kids on bikes that were, like, not listening to the police officers at all. And they were, like, wheeling around and stuff, and they were, like, yelling back and forth at the police officers. And the police officers snagged them and put them in cuffs and everything. And they closed down the park, and I'm pretty sure the park's still closed down now with caution tape. You can't go on the basketball courts. You can't go anywhere. But, yeah, so that's the story about how I skipped school because of COVID-19. If you guys like Storytime, and give a thumbs up. You're new, subscribe. Make sure to turn on notifications because, you know, I never post videos in a certain way. It's like whenever I think of them. Alright, well, GG, my dudes. That concludes it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Pez Gang, we out!